Hola, I'm Fivers and welcome to Revive Wins. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at Matveiffe and her new unique equipment called Paradox. Because Matveiffe is an old doll, I'm just gonna do a small review of her. This is going to be useful for new players and also for veteran players. Matveiffe is a Brimstone assassin, with a standard cost in her abilities, 1 Order Energy for her skill 1 and 4 Chaos Energy for her skill 2. Her skill 1 is a physical attack that dispels all buffs on the enemy in the back row and deals physical damage to the target. This skill also increases her critical chance by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So she can increase her critical chance by 25% at max. Then, her skill 2 deals physical damage 6 times to the enemy in the back row with each attack, reducing the target's critical damage resistance. She also increases her critical damage, and after the 6 attacks, she deals extra physical damage to the target. Her passive at level 2 makes her ignore 4000 points of each enemy's physical defense. As we can see, Matveiffe has single target abilities, always focusing the enemy in the back row. So she's a really good doll to kill the squishy characters of the enemy team, because in Revive Witch we normally place the tank in the first row. So she's going to kill first the enemy's damage dealer or the support. Matveiffe is able to dispel all buffs on the enemy and to increase her critical chance thanks to her skill 1. She's also able to reduce the target's critical damage resistance and to increase her critical damage thanks to her skill 2. And she is able to ignore some physical defense thanks to her passive. Both of her skills provide a decent amount of damage. The problem is that her skill 2 normally overkills the enemy. I'm saying this because if she kills the enemy before the 6 attacks, the rest of these attacks that she should do to the enemy are not going to happen, so we are going to lose all the other damage dealt. Her skill 2 could be even better if she could have the same effect as the skill 2 of Akasa. Akasa deals damage to the enemy in the back row 6 times as Matveiffe, but in the case of Akasa, if she defeats the enemy, she switches to the enemy in the new back row. So Akasa is not losing any damage of her ability. But it's true that Matveiffe doesn't have this problem when we are fighting versus a boss. So Matveiffe is actually a pretty good doll, but she was always missing her unique equipment to be able to compete with all the other assassins in the game. Not really because the special effect of the unique equipment, but mainly because the stats that the unique equipment provides to the doll, being the stats of attack, critical damage and critical rate that the unique equipment provides, are really important addition for an assassin. So let's finally take a look at her new unique equipment. Her new unique equipment is called Paradox, and at level 60 it provides 5250 attack, 45% of critical damage, 15% of critical rate, and 12,750 health. The special effect is when self's health is below 50%, damage taken decreases by 16% and gains the same percentage of physical life steal. When self's health is above 50%, damage dealt increases by 16% and ignores 800 of enemy's physical defense. Basically, when Matveiffe has more than 50% of health, she's going to deal more damage and ignore a bit more of physical defense, and when she has less than 50% of health, she's going to receive less damage and gain lifesteal. So thanks to her unique equipment and her skill set, Matveiffe is going to have a pretty decent critical chance and a really good critical damage, and she's going to ignore a bit more of physical defense. But is this going to be enough to make her a beast and make her able to compete with Isabelle, the actual queen of assassins? Sadly, of course not. The damage that Isabelle provides with her skill 2 is too high. Isabelle really broke the state of the game, and she doesn't let us try to use other assassins if we wanna compete for the top rankings in boss stages. But beside all of this, I will say that now Matveiffe is going to be a pretty decent assassin to help all the people that doesn't have Isabelle or Selania. She's pretty similar to Akasa, but I will say that Matveiffe has more utility by her own than Akasa. So should you summon for Matveiffe and her unique equipment? If you have Isabelle or Selania, this banner is an easy skip. But if you don't have them, Matveiffe is going to be a pretty decent assassin, with her unique equipment at level 20 or 40. And as always, if you like her design and you want to pull for her, just do it. Actually, in my opinion, she has one of the best skins of the game. And that's it for today's video. I hope that I have helped you. Thank you so much for watching, leave a comment, drop a like and consider subscribing if you wanna see more Revive Wits content in the future, and see you in the next video. Ciao!